I loved, drinking. So I was like, I'm out, like, this is cool. I don't need to be in my body. But I actually needed to like have a productive life and function and, be present and happy. And so I had to find tools to help me do that. I shared this with the other room. I love listening to Lisa and Casey because what we found from them, that what I found that really resonated for me was the fact that Casey wanted to create internal safety, like that was so important to her. And we all need that. We don't live in a very safe world these days. Like there's definitely some things that we need to have online inside our own systems, inside our own bodies. And that is something that I've worked very hard on in my life because I didn't have it. It was not an inherent value in my life. It was not something that was gifted as a child. It was something that was never there. Even though that I was raised in a somewhat privileged environment, safety was not inherent. And so I love sharing that journey. And then with Lisa, she talked about connection and how powerful connection is with people. But guess what you need to be able to connect with others? Connection with yourself. And if you don't have connection with yourself, driving a conversation can feel really strange. It can feel very like a lot of self-doubt, a lot of discomfort, a lot of anxiety. But the deeper your connection with yourself is, the greater your ability to connect with others. And in my life, things were so chaotic. I mean, I had a medical journey that my life would start and stop over and over and over again. I was like almost addicted to the chaos because my system like didn't know how else to operate. Push culture, you just like keeps pushing at you and pushing, and you're like, oh my God, I gotta keep up. Holy shit, they said we need to make money and we have to have this house and all these kids and all this stuff and then these cars, which has just never been something that I've been able to like totally buy into. And so I've always lived somewhat of an alternative life, like moving to a spiritual community for my freshman semester, second semester of college. Instead of, junior year abroad, I did my freshman year. I will always do things a little bit differently. So when we try to do something new, it feels really foreign to our bodies and our systems. And that feels like we can be betraying ourselves or breaking habits. But how do we build trust and try new things and affect change? And I tried a lot of things, like a lot of things. I mean, I have done every spiritual practice. I have done almost every healing practice out there. I'm certified in a lot of them. I have been in and around the healing space since I was 18 for 27 years, because I broke my back when I was 18 years old. And so that triggered a whole entire autonomic response in my body. After I had that surgery and metal rods were put in my body, my physical system was like this. I can handle it. I got this. Okay, I'm good. Yep. I'm fine. And I built a physical structure. Like, I'm okay. And then I could only hold that for so long. And then I'd be like, I can't do it anymore. I'm not good enough. And it was very much like an emotional up and down roller coaster that, the medical system would just turn me into some like clinical project, right? And they definitely tried to a few times, but I've been really good at fighting the system and finding alternatives so that I still have self-esteem, a life, a way of connecting with the world, and deep relationships. Linnea, I love seeing you here in the room. Linnea is a dear friend of mine, and I just love being in the room with her. So I could tell you like a million stories, but to get the gist of things, my desire is truly for you to feel peace inside your body. When you feel peace inside your body, there's an inherent power that comes. There's inherent confidence that comes. There's also inherent compassion. So your ability to be in relation with other people it just exists. There's no fight. There's no comparison, because you're not fighting yourself to be part of whatever's going on. You're just being with. And when I started really diving into like my own trauma response, I was like, I'm so traumatized. I've had all these surgeries. My body's been through so much. I'm, like la la la. The story, right? I was very into the story. But when I really look, and what we're going to do today as we go into some of this work, because we are going to dive into a meditation, right? We are going to do some nervous system regulation. First, I'm going to get you to this like really juicy place so that you feel like at ease and comfortable. So I know that no one's coming in with like a major fight or flight response right now. Just want to get you like in a really comfy place. And we will do some of that nervous system regulation, some of the tools. But what I really want you to look at, and what I really work with my clients, is how to support your stress response. So I shift trauma response to stress response. It's just more digestible, right? There's been a lot of language coming out around the trauma response, and oh my God, everyone's traumatized. And look, we all have it, but it's not the trauma. It's how you respond to it. And it's what's happening now. And that's really your personalized stress response. That's all it is. It's how you're continuing to live out a past situation in your current reality. And my desire for you is to have a personalized stress response awareness, a PRSA. So, or PSRA. So if you can understand what you're responding to and how you respond to things, there's less judgment, right? There is less impact on the outcome, because you are understanding, oh my God, I'm in fight or flight. Like, I'm not going to go too deep in my story, but a real quick thing. How I got into this work was I was in a career in film. I needed to transition out of the film industry, could get more stable. I got into sales. Sales was great, but like I didn't love the lifestyle too. So I thought owning my own business as a coach, and my sales was, I was a coach inside my sales role. Leaving my corporate life to start my business. And I was like, my dreams are coming true. I'm doing this. I was doing B school. I was doing Mama Gina's. I was like on it. I was doing another coaching certification. I was like the year of like self-improvement. And I was also pretty darn sick at the same time, but I was like, I'm going to do this. And 6 months after I started my business, I almost died. And literally, like, I lost a 20-year fertility battle, and the only thing that I could do was get dressed, because I just had no way to connect with the world anymore. Like, my dreams, my body had betrayed me so much. My dreams were shot. I couldn't be a parent to my own child from my belly. And there was a lot of grief, and I needed to like figure out a new reality. And I've spent the past 10 years basically doing that, and coming back into my body in a new, more grounded way. I created a styling process. I had gathered a group of women together in a mastermind, and incredible people that are very, very vibrant in the entrepreneurial world. And I just said, look, I don't know what to do. I thought I was just going to be like this amazing coach online and using all my skills and stuff. And now, like, I feel I don't have a vision. Like, I can't find the oomph for this. And they're like, oh my God, you dress so well. Like, why don't you just style us? And I was like, oh yeah, I used to work on film sets. Like, I know how to position people. I know marketing and sales, and I know all these things. I love fashion. And so I like jumped into that. And what I saw in every woman that I styled on set was they all had body image issues. And so I created a somatic styling process for women to step into their bodies. And I've styled some incredible people. I've even styled Linnea. And I really dove into the healing journey that I'd already been on for 27 years. And I like built this all together. And then 4 years ago, I had moved to Spain about 5 years ago. I started 5.5 years ago. And I thought I was like running to a new life, right? I was like, this is amazing. I know, I recognize that dress, Linnea. I was like, she's wearing it. I was running to New Life in Spain, and all of a sudden, a year and a half into that journey, I got so sick. And this was like a couple months before COVID. So I'm pretty sure it was COVID, but we'll never know. And I like hit a response of like, oh my God, I can't even be in my body. I can't do what I teach. Like I can't wear clothes. I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to show up. And so what's happened in the journey of being in your body, owning a business, showing up in life, building capacity to do all that stuff? Like who has like wanted to do something and then they like eat too much, or they don't show up, or they stop working out, or they do some major self-sabotage, or they have some shame spiral, or right? Do you guys go through this cycle at all? Like we want to affect change, right? Like we want to affect change in our lives and in the world. I'm pretty sure you all want to affect change in the world some way, shape, or form, because that's like Nova-ish, right? But when you have a system that is not comfortable with change, it will do anything to stop you from doing that. No matter how hard you try to outsmart it, your physical system is like, huh? She's doing that thing. It just does not feel normal anymore. I'm going to go run over here. All right. And like, okay, I'm doing this and do that. And then you're like, I'm showing up at this thing. Yeah, it's so great. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Like, oh God, I'm so bad. I'm the worst person. Da, da, da. Whatever it is, right? You just sort of, and the energy level inside your body goes, and it like starts to shrink in and it gets really tense and tight. And your respiration probably gets really like short and shallow, and your thoughts might be racing a lot, and you're like, fuck, it's fucking happened again. I want to change. Why am I not changing? What the fuck? So that's been my life. And I've tried everything to change. Like, I mean, like you name it. I mean, I've done some crazy things to change. And when I found neurosomatics, so this is really change at the level of the nervous system is instantaneous. And I think Linnea is really the only person here that knows me from prior nervous system, like neurosomatics, right? And I was like, I'm great, I'm good. And then I'd be like, I'm not so good, right? And I really had a roller coaster experience with life, and it was not fun. And now I have a regulated experience with life. And this is what I want other people to feel, because I can show up in my own capacity and I can set boundaries when I'm like, you know what? We're pushing my boundaries right now. Like I need to pull back, and I can respect that. I don't bypass my body. If I do, I go into recovery mode. I respect my body. And when we can lead from this place, I really believe that we will be, I'm going to say, so elegant and so powerful. I'm just sorry, in your words, can you define somatic to the audience? Yes, I will. I will. Thank you, Brenda. That was a really good distinction. So I believe in this place, if we lead from that really elegant place, we become an unstoppable force. We become an energetic impact in the world. We literally permeate our sense of being, our essence into the world, because we have true ownership, true presence inside our body. So just to throw in what somatics is. So soma is of the body. That just is what it is. So a lot of people talk about like, I think about a lot of things, right? Like I think, and I'm very cerebral, and I have all these ideas, and it's so awesome, and I'm going to go out and do them, right? And like you're 10 steps down the road and you're like, oh, whoa, like I'm really tired. Like this doesn't feel right. Like this is not, I'm feeling like this is really draining me. And I really operated from that place. And then there's the, oh my God, this is a great idea. I'm inspired to do it. I'm going out to do it. My body's behind me. And then you hit a block, a wall, an emotional boom, and you're stuck. And your body is physically held either in a freeze, in a fight or flight, in a response system where all of a sudden you can't move forward on your vision because you're being held by the past. You're being held by an emotion, fear, anger, grief, whatever it is. Grief is a pretty strong journey in my life. So we move through those emotions, right? And it's great to express them. It's great to emote them. And that is so much. Move those emotions through your body, right? Don't hold on to them. But when the brain is wiring the system, our vagus nerve runs from brain all the way down through to our digestive. It regulates our hormones. It regulates our digestion. It regulates our heartbeat. It really keeps things in system, in flow. And when we start to get out of flow, we start to get all like disjointed, discombobulated. And so the goal is to bring the system back into a sense of harmony, into a sense of flow, into a sense of ease. But because we're not comfortable with those changes, we have to figure out a way. And so the brain, when it's given certain drills and exercises, like literally like lifting weights for your brain is what I do. I literally, it is brain. And it's not like, oh, I need my brain to think this way. It's literally like I do eye exercises. We'll do some in a little bit. Brenda, can you give me a time check just so I know? Thank you. So the other thing, so if you are like recognizing in yourself, like, oh my God, I might be like bending myself to other people's will, like you're a fawner, like you just kind of like, oh, okay, right, yeah, I'll do that. That might be your stress response. Or you're like, I'm out of here. I'm so done with this. Peace out, guys. Like no more. That could be your stress response, right? And then you have that like, what the fuck do you want? Right? That really defensive, like fight, right? And like if I was a fighter and a flighter, and then all of a sudden I went into a freeze. So all of a sudden you hit this stress response and you're like, you're just shut down. You're fully shut down and you can't move. And we actually have something called a flop. So you just like hit the ground. So when you start to, perfect, thank you. So when you start to work on yourself at the root of your nervous system, right? You're actually changing your response system. So you're changing how you resonate to the world because you're not carrying that quote unquote frequency to be like slightly woo, but it's really not woo. Yes, there are 4 and there's actually a 5th. So there's fight, flight, fawn, freeze, and then there's also flop, which we talk about in my program because have you ever felt so done that you just can't get up and you like freeze is like a pretty like I'm in a like okay pause, but flop is like I'm done. And so that one's not talked about very much, but it is a great one. So what we want to look at is like how do we build your capacity? And I have spent the past 4 years doing that ever since I had the brain blow up in 2019. And I even hired a capacity coach at one point. I was like, just teach me how to build my capacity. But it wasn't at the root of the nervous system. And so I could not get over the hurdle. I could not make any sustainable change because I would go right back to the same behavior, the same thought loops, the same behavioral loops from like, if I catch my breath starting to like go shallower and shallower and shallower, I know that my mind has already gone there, but I can't hear the thoughts yet. But I know that my breath has gone there and my heart rate's going up. So I'm like, oh my God, my heart and my breath are there. My mind's about to go there. Let me step out of that for a moment and go regulate. And I literally like, don't go there anymore. Like I tell my therapist, I'm like, remember that person that we met like a little while ago, like 6 months ago, that was like really tough to be around in this room? You know, the part of you that you're like, can you just leave? Like if you left, I'd be much better without you. She's also pushed me to do a lot of things too, but that part you can start to work with because you're not fighting it anymore. You're not listening to it. It's not dominating you. You're actually giving it a sense of ease and grace inside your body. So it has room to be seen, but it also can like put its weapons down. So let's go inside. Does that feel good? Does everyone feel good about going inside right now? Yeah? Okay. Okay. So taking a deep breath in, I would love for you to close your eyes And if you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, you can leave them slightly open. Just try to let a little bit less. Yes, I can. Let me give that to you afterwards. We do the meditation, Jazzy. So if you just taking a deep breath in and out, allowing the body to just feel present and safe, allowing yourself to feel present and safe with your body. Noticing your feet on the floor, noticing yourself seated in the chair or the bed, noticing your spine supported with the wall or the chair behind you. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just taking your hands and letting them lay gently on your legs, just allowing yourself to relax, letting those shoulders drop down. Feeling yourself come to presence inside your body. You are an incredible force in the world. Each center of your body has immaculate power. As they are fine-tuned, you have greater impact. So just taking a deep breath in. As you inhale, I want you to visualize a paintbrush going up the front of your body. And as you exhale, notice the paintbrush going down. And just inhale, go up. And exhale, go down. Inhale, feel the energy go up. And exhale, let it go down. Notice any tension in your body. Just breathe into that. We're going to put a pink champagne bubble around you. And we're going outside into the woods, into the most beautiful forest. And you see a path, and you start walking down this path, and you go down deeper and deeper and deeper. And you notice the frogs and the dragonflies and the flowers and the mushrooms, and you're just walking through the woods, down deeper and deeper. And you get to the bottom of the hill, and you notice there's a body of water. And sitting there on a rock is the you in 5 years, your future self. Notice, what does she look like? What is she wearing? What shoes does she have on? Maybe she's not even wearing shoes. What jewelry? Notice what her presence feels like. As she steps closer to you, she takes your hands and whispers something in your ear, just for you. Taking a deep breath in and out. She takes this beautiful cloak and throws it over your shoulders. And you instantaneously adopt her posture, her presence, her power, her elegance. Allow yourself to feel what it's like to be this woman you've been dreaming of becoming. You can be her now. Just noticing as you look around at the forest and the water and the dragonflies, and you see the beauty surrounding you. Notice how you feel. And now it's time to go. You thank her for her presence. She lets you take the cloak with her. And as you walk away, waving goodbye, and you walk up the path, you notice how light it feels to be on your feet. You notice what your shoulders are doing as you stride up that path. You notice what your breath is doing. You notice the strength inside your body. And you adopt your future self now. Taking a deep breath in as you come to the top of the forest, at the top of that path, and come back to your home. As you sit down in your chair, gently wiggle your toes and take your finger and pop open that little champagne bubble that you're in. And when you're ready, just take a deep breath in and out. Open your eyes and allow yourself to come to present. How are you all doing? Allison, you look like you're in the stars. It's so cool. Just like starlit. So just leave some notes in the chat here so I can just hear how you're feeling, what came up for you, if there were any messages. Just taking a deep breath in and out and allowing your body to just come to presence so you can feel your full capacity. You can relax. You're already her. I love that. It's so real. Yeah. You teared up when you met your future self. It's so powerful. It's so cool. Yeah. I'm so glad. Oh, thank you, Meg. That's really sweet. So, who wants to be able to hold this capacity now, right? Like, it's great to go into a meditation and be like, that was awesome, Carrie. Really cool when you speak like that to me and I feel really soothed and relaxed. But like, how do we keep that feeling going? Because that's what I always struggled with. I couldn't keep it going. So I'm going to teach you a few different, oh, it's Joshua tree, Allison. Oh, wow. I'm super jealous right now. That's so cool. It's really stunning. So I'm going to teach you a few tools right now so that you can program in this sensation and feel what it feels like to be in an expanded nervous system. Because we can't always get to a meditation when we're under the gun and like we are on the go. Like it's just not realistic. And I would give myself a really hard time for not being able to do that. And I don't want you to go through that. So I'm going to give you an assessment tool. So I studied neurosomatics, and that's really about having some clear limits and boundaries of knowing what's working for your system and what's not working for your system. And we use an assessment tool. There's multiple, but I'm just going to use one because we're all seated right here. So put your hand at 90 and 90 degrees. And Jazzy, I will answer your question. And rotate your arm forward without letting your shoulder pop up, right? So every time I'm on a computer, I pretty much get to about here. I have to pretty much regulate all the time. But when I'm really regulated, like when I'm doing my drills and stuff, my arm goes all the way down like that. Okay. Some people, is that a question, Natalie? Oh, it's the Zoom AI. Yes, it does do that. Sorry. So this is just feeling where your system is at. Okay. So have a mark on how far your arm can go forward. And for those of you who are just popping back in, we're just doing an assessment drill to see where our nervous system is at. Everyone's system is different. We all have different experiences. We all have different ways of existing in our nervous system. And our capacity grows and contracts or expands and contracts within minutes. The goal is to keep expanding it so that there's a different baseline, but that takes work over time. So for here we are, this is where we are today, okay? So we're gonna do one exercise to start. It is tongue circles. You're gonna do circles around your teeth, underneath your lips. So between your tongue, 5 times in one direction and then 5 times in another direction. And we have 5 minutes left. Okay. And when you're done, I want you to go back and assess and see how you do. Look, I'm already way better. So tongue exercises are like the instantaneous fix for me always. Like they will always get me right in. Anytime I'm driving in my car and I feel super stressed, anytime I'm driving my car, I actually do this because I want my nervous system to stay. I was so anxious for most of my life and trying to suppress that I just operated at this all the time. I was like, I'm fine. I'm Carrie. I'm fine. And I don't want to be there anymore. I want to be like down here. So from this assessment, we're going to do another tongue exercise. So it's called a vomer. And you're going to take your tongue from the back of your mouth on the roof of your mouth and then push it forward to the very front. Okay. So like, you can't see my tongue, but I'm taking my tongue and I'm pushing it forward. I do this when people get like aggressive with me. And I'm listening to them and I'm like, and I feel my heart rate going up and I'm like, and just take a deep breath in and out. Okay. We always come back to the breath. Our breath is our foundation. It also helps us transition. So let's just test the nervous system again, our assessment tool. And look at that. It's like so good. Did anyone respond negatively where you like didn't go as further forward? Or that you like, no, everyone's good, positive? Okay, so cool. All right, I'm going to teach you my next one. It's called a helical breath. It is my most favorite exercise of all time. I had migraines every day for 4 years. And on the first time doing this, my migraines were gone. Not forever, but it went away. Okay, so you're going to cross your right ankle over your left ankle. Right ankle is in front. Your right hand is going to go on your left knee. We're only doing it towards the left because of our diaphragm and the placement of our heart. So we're following the anatomy of the body. The left hand goes behind your head. You're going to rotate your shoulders just gently. You don't need to like do a full spine twist here. We're just going to rotate our shoulders open. The head follows the chest. So if you guys like can't see the computer, rotate your chair so that you can see me. Like, I don't, if that makes sense, so that you can still see me. You're going to inhale into the back side of your chest or your rib cage. So inhale for 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to keep going. Inhale for 3, 2, 3. Hold for 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, inhale for 3, 2, 3, hold for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And unwind and come back in. Take a deep breath in and out. And let's reassess. And rotating forward. Okay. Is that not like magic? Like, who doesn't want to do that all the time? I like to feel good. I'm no longer addicted to feeling in chaos and crazy. I like to feel good. Like, this is the power in your body. Are there any questions? Jazzy, I will have to send you a better answer. I don't think we have enough time, and I apologize about that. But fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, the trauma responses or stress responses, it's how we respond in our system. Any other questions?